You know how many people I fooled? They didn't know who it was because I was wearing
You
this.
were in disguise, man.
It just damn. You guys know you're fooled. You know you were fooled. All right, man. Here we are live. Welcome to Pick Six, where we're covering
Final four in the NFL.
Damn, man. I'm getting a little sad just thinking about it right now.
That season went by pretty quick. I don't like and football is my favorite sport to cover. I like baseball. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really watch basketball too much. Hockey here and there. But football is my favorite sport to cover. And for the season to almost be over, man, it kind of sucks a little bit. But exciting as well.
Well, all right. So, first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the divisional round that gave us some good games, man, as opposed to Wild Card Weekend. Wild Card Weekend was complete trash. What a 180 it was, because the divisional round was badass and a half, man. How did you like it?
By the way, take the super and the wild out of that round. Okay, it was just a card round. Divisional, very good football. Very good. Every game was worth watching. I guess, the Texans and Chiefs game was a little bit tacky. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying scripted refs. But I'm not going to get into that, at least not right now. But for the most part, yeah, I really enjoyed the games. Ravens and Bills did not disappoint. And how about the Lions and the Commanders? Okay, look.
That was great.
Look, I did say that any team can give the Lions a run for their money because of how banged up their defense is. I didn't think that Washington was going to win. I thought they were going to put up a good fight, but I didn't think they were going to win, man. That shook me.
Okay. All right. It would have been cool to see the Lions go. I never really want to see the two number one seeds go. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I just don't want it to be so predictable to see the two number one seeds go all the time. However, because it was the Lions, I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to see the Lions go. But it is official. We are absolutely not going to get the two number one seeds going to the Super Bowl. And I got to give it up to the Commanders, man, because they balled out. Gosh, it was nothing against the Lions, but it was just great to see the Commanders win.
Yeah, no,
it was.
I think we might actually be seeing one of, if not the greatest rookie quarterback season, man.
From San Bernardino?
It's looking that way. Now, I know you could say you could put Ben Roethlisberger up there. Heck, you could even put RG3 up there. But, man, or even CJ Stroud, the season he had last year. But with the way Jaden Daniels has been playing in the regular season and taking that into the postseason as well, you could even say he's playing better in the postseason. That's something that, we haven't seen in a long time. So, shout out to Jaden Daniels. He's doing his thing, man.
And that was basically the biggest upset, the biggest surprise of divisional round, man. Nobody really saw that coming. All the other games, let's talk about the Bills and the Ravens before we get into our predictions for a bit, man. Okay. All right. So I said it was a 50-50 game, right? It was a coin flip. And I said, whichever way you go, I'm going to go I'll just go with the other team. I did favor the Bills, but you went Bills. So I'm like, okay, Ravens, not a bad choice, even though I would have gone for the Bills. All right. So I'm watching the game, and I'm kind of in a weird situation, being a hardcore Steeler fan, kind of rooting for the Ravens to win, even though I actually do want the Bills. I do want the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I do. Yeah. But I'm the champ, and I gotta keep my title. All right. What happened with that 2-point conversion?
Man.
What happened? How come everybody's over there talking about it was scripted over there with the Chiefs? Like, can it not be scripted over here? Like, why is it just one? Why is everybody just hating on Taylor Swift over there?
All right.
But what it was wide. He was wide open,
Yeah.
right at the corner of the end zone. The ball hit his hands not once but twice.
Okay. The only thing I could say is that maybe he was trying to turn himself and extend for the goal line. That is like my only reason I could give on how or why he dropped the pass. Other than that, yeah, I mean, he was wide open. It should have been a catch no matter what, even if he was trying to turn his body or what have you. But the 2-point conversions, okay, they've had 2 controversial 2-point conversions this season. You know, they had one in Pittsburgh earlier and now in the divisional round. What's the controversy? They didn't have Derrick Henry in there. Why, when you have to gain 2 yards, the most important play of the game, this case in the season on the line, why are you not going to have your best weapon out there in Derrick Henry? I mean, I know the Bills actually did a pretty solid job in somewhat containing Derrick Henry, but still, that's probably your best player on the field. I mean, if it's not your best, it's second best to Lamar Jackson.
And not only that, you could use them to even block. You could use them to block. You could use them. I mean, Derrick Henry is a beast, man. He really is. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they didn't have Derrick Henry out there. But hey, you know what? They fouled up. But nonetheless, the pass was there. He drops the ball. I was just like, wow, God. I don't know. I didn't know what to say, man. It's like they did that to me on purpose.
Okay.
You know,
There's a little bit of controversy going on in this room. Okay.
Man, it just seemed like that's what happened. But all right, so let's get to the picks, man.
All right. We got the game in the afternoon, early afternoon slate at noon. We have the Washington football team Commanders going into Philly to play the Eagles. Commanders 6th seed coming off of an upset win against the Lions. Eagles are the 2nd seed, although the playoffs have been running through them, and they are the 2nd win, and they coming off a win against the Rams. So, first off, I think we both know what win was more convincing or impressive, I should say. I think the Commanders beating the Lions was a little bit more impressive. I kind of feel like a lot of people thought the Eagles were going to win and expected them to win. I actually gave the Rams a pretty good chance, and I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But, they wound up falling short.
Okay. I mean, no, you're right. You're right in what you said, but the Rams had a chance, man.
Yeah.
The Rams definitely had a chance. But look, what I saw from the Commanders, all right, from the Washington Redskin Commander football team, I was like, damn, if these guys can play like this, they can go all the way. And let me tell you guys something, all right? Let me tell everybody something. I want them to win it all.
Oh,
I'm rooting for them. So when it comes to this game right here, Eagles and the Washington football team Redskin Commanders.
What?
I'm rooting for them. Take it all the way. Take it all the way to the house, baby. Do it. This team has been in some controversy for many years. It's a bunch of BS to me. And I'm just like, you know what? Just win it. Just win it. My Steelers are not in it. So go ahead. Take it all the way, man. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Get them, baby.
Okay. You know what? I agree with you completely. I don't know if I care about them winning it all the way, winning the Super Bowl, but I do want them to make the Super Bowl. Okay. I have what I would want the Super Bowl matchup to be. You know what? I'm just going to predict it for who I want it to be, but I'll make a whole thing about it. So, look, my only concern is there's this thing, no rookie quarterback has ever led his team to the Super Bowl.
Mm.
But I'm also going to say, if there is a rookie quarterback to do that, is that not Jaden Daniels?
From San Bernardino.
I mean, I'm telling you, this is one of the most impressive rookie seasons we have seen.
Yeah.
At least not in a long time. So I'm very impressed with the Commanders. I think they're a really well coached team. Their defense, does bring a little bit of question, but they've been playing solid. They did have to go up against a really good Lions offense, and they were able to get a couple of turnovers in that game, including a pick six as well. Appreciate that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if they can contain Saquon, if they can, it's gonna be tough. It's like containing Derrick Henry. It's gonna be tough. But if they can do that, they win this game.
I'm wearing Ben Roethlisberger. Okay. I remember his rookie year. He comes in and takes the Steelers to the AFC Championship game. And I was just like, wow, this guy can take him to the Super Bowl. Like, damn. But he took him to the championship game to lose to, of course, the Patriots. And then the hatred started. The hatred just started from there. But no, if this guy can do it, man, I mean, son of a bastard. I'm rooting from so badly, man. I want this guy to get it. I want him to win it. Not just so much for him, but just the team, right? Like the team, the Washington Redskin Commanders football team, whatever their name. You know what, man? It's been such a long time. I remember when they won the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills. It was in one of those games the Bills had made the Super Bowl 4 straight Super Bowls and lost every single one of them. Well, one of those was to the Washington Redskins at the time, which are now called Commander Football Team, whatever it may be. But I'm rooting for them. Go get it, man. I still got So go get it. I'm rooting for them. Who do you got?
I got Washington, man.
I got Washington. Serious?
I got Washington.
Oh, come on.
I got Washington.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. All right.
You know what? Okay, fine. I'll go Philly. Fine.
No.
Make yourself feel fine. I'll go Philly.
You knew which way I was going. See, that's why we shouldn't talk before we go live. That's why I shouldn't talk. All right. So you're gonna go Philly?
Sure. Sure.
All right, man. It's the champion pulling his weight, pushing his weight around a little bit. All right, so I got Washington. Let's go, Washington. Come on, baby.
I'm pulling for them really hard, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Washington, D.C., Washington District of Columbia. There's another Washington, man. It's above us.
Yeah.
Nobody really.
Hey, now we're practicing geography today. How about that? Yeah, a little geography lesson over from Mr. Cholo Trucker. How about that? But yeah. What do you think the point spread is going to be? You think it's going to be a close game? You think it's going to be a bit of a? Honestly, I think if it's snowing like it was when they played the Rams, that might have a big impact on the game because it really seems like the Commanders have that high power offense. Snow, and Jaden Daniels, he has an arm, man. But Snow can slow that down and could make you go to your run game. Do you think the weather would be a factor?
It doesn't snow in San Bernardino, man. I keep bringing up San Bernardino because it's a Southern California city, not too far from us. That's why I just keep on bringing it up. That was something that was badass about the divisional round of the snow games. That was so cool to watch, man. Loved it. Looks like a lot of fun. No, I don't think it'll be too much of a factor. I hope we see some weather. If it's not snow, maybe a little bit of rain. But man, it seems like it's cold everywhere but here.
Yeah, it's been very
everywhere but Southern California. It's been freezing. So everywhere but here, man. So
give us some rain out here. We really need it. But
dying of thirst, man.
But all right. This one, I'm almost guaranteed weather's going to be a factor. Whether it would have been in Buffalo or in Kansas City, both those places get like frigid. All right. We have the Buffalo Bills once again walking into Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium to play the Chiefs. The 1 seed versus 2 seed. The Chiefs have had one hell of a season. Okay. They've lost 2 games. One of them was their backups playing and the Broncos shut them out. And you have the Bills, who have been consistently good all season. They did beat Kansas City in Buffalo earlier this season. This one, man, I mean, we've seen a couple times.
Yeah, but the difference was that was in Buffalo.
That was in Buffalo, and that was in the regular season. Now, Josh Allen and the Bills have beaten the Chiefs in the regular season. They have yet to do that in the postseason. They are 0-3 against the Chiefs in the postseason. Does it change here? What do you think?
Man, I'll tell you, those Bills, that the history with the Buffalo Bills, with the 4 times, right? They go to the Super Bowl 4 times, they lose all 4. They're gonna go to KC in the playoffs 4 times. They're gonna lose to him 4 times, maybe. Okay. Look, whatever you go, I'll go the opposite. All right. I am definitely gonna root for the Bills. I definitely want the Bills to go. Do I think they actually win? I think they got a shot at it. I think they do. I mean, but then again, man, it seems like KC, like everything goes right for them. Like when it counts, like it goes right for them, man. Everything goes right for them.
They get the right amount of flags. They get the right amount of calls that they need.
Look. The important thing always is Taylor Swift happy. That's the important thing. All right. So all you guys over there, hating and all up in your feelings and everything like that. Hey, the important thing is that she's happy. All right. But is she going to be happy after this game? Man, to me, this is a coin flip. To me, this is, again, Ravens Bills.
Okay.
I probably favor KC more if I had to choose a winner, not who I'm rooting for, but if I had to choose a winner, I'd probably go KC because a lot of things go right. A lot of things go their way. It is in KC and the history between the teams. But at the same time, you could go to the history of the teams and say, like, that's why I too favor the Bills, because the Bills know what time it is. They know what's up. They know, like, hey, we have not beat these dudes in the playoffs. Like, come on, this is the time to turn it up. So, I mean, to me, it's kind of like a Bills Ravens, man. But if I had to choose one, it would be KC.
All right. Okay. So, I'm first and foremost, I'm gonna go Buffalo. Okay.
Which means I go KC then.
All right. I'm going Buffalo, and here's why. Say the NFL is scripted, right? Say it is.
Oh, what do you say next? That wrestling is scripted?
No. Wrestling is 100% real.
Gosh,
all right, 100% legit.
Don't mess with my mind like that, man.
But let's just say it is, right? The NFL tries to push the narrative that this is this era of Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady.
Ooh.
That's what they push?
Yeah. No, yes.
How is it the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady of this era when Josh Allen has not beaten Patrick Mahomes? So it didn't matter. Because if we're going off that narrative, then it's more like Tom Brady versus Ben Roethlisberger. It's more like the Steelers and the Patriots, and we know a lot about that. Okay, yes. It's very one-sided once it gets to the playoffs. Now, I get it. They've had 5-star matches in the playoffs, but KC's won every single one of them. Okay, so Bills have to do it, right? That's it has to happen. I thought last year it was supposed to be the time, which 3rd time's the charm. I guess that wasn't the case. I mean, If Buffalo doesn't do it now, will they ever do it? I don't think so. It has to be now if they can beat the Chiefs. And if not, who's the other team to beat the Chiefs? I really don't know.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so Ali Frazier wouldn't exist if Frazier didn't win one of the 3 fights that they had. So I get it. So Peyton Manning had to beat Tom Brady at some point for it to be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
For it to be a rivalry. Because, it's not
Yes.
a rivalry if it's one-sided. One team's just continuing to beat the other.
Right. So if Ali just beat Frazier all 3 times, then it wouldn't be a rivalry. Frazier had to beat Ali at some point. So here we go. So Patrick Mahomes and Allen, he's got to beat him at some point. If not, it's not a damn rivalry. I get what you're saying. That's a good point. How about just the fact that he gives him a good game all the time? That's not enough.
No.
He's got to beat him.
You have to beat him when it matters.
You got to crush his heart. You got to break his heart.
Okay.
You got to rip his soul out. You got to make him cry.
Okay.
You want Taylor Swift up there just bawling, crying?
Okay,
Messing up her makeup?
here's my thing as well. The only teams,
guy's evil, man.
The only teams or the only quarterbacks that you can make that comparison that it's Brady and Manning is the Chiefs and the Bengals, because Joe Burrow and the Bengals are the only team to beat them. And it's 2-1. I mean, 1-1, I think, right, in the playoffs. The Chiefs beat them once and the Bengals beat them once. The problem is the Bengals, they didn't have good seasons the past 2 years, so they haven't even had the chance to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. But Josh Allen, I think they have a chip on their shoulder, which is why I picked them to win last week, and which is why I'm picking them to win this week, because they got to do it. I don't know how much longer their Super Bowl window is going to be. I know they're going to be good for a while. I mean, as long as you have Josh Allen, he's definitely going to keep you relevant. He's that good enough to keep the team relevant. But as far as a Super Bowl window, if they don't get it this year, I don't see them getting it in the near future. I really don't. Unless they make a big splash play in free agency, sign a big free agent or something. Something would have to change, or just something different with the Bills.
Notice how the rivalry was always Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It was never Tom Brady and Eli Manning, because Tom Brady couldn't beat Eli when it mattered the most.
That's true.
Just saying.
That's true. That's true. I didn't even, for some reason, that one didn't even catch my.
All right. And it was beautiful to watch, by the way. Okay. Look. Who would you have given a better chance to beat the Chiefs? The Ravens or the Bills?
Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo. Okay.
Okay.
I do think,
Because there are some experts that are saying that Ravens would have had a better chance to beat the Chiefs at home as opposed to the Bills.
Okay, I do think the Ravens have the better team, the better squad, the more talented squad, but I think Buffalo has, I don't know if I want to, maybe the better quarterback. Maybe. I know it's a flip of the coin. You could say that I guess Lamar Jackson has a better numbers, but as far as playoffs, it seems like Josh Allen has been the most reliable in the postseason. Okay, regular season, Lamar Jackson does his thing and he's one of the best in the league. But once it gets to the playoffs, he kind of struggles a little bit. Except for when he played the Steelers for some reason. He went off against the Steelers, but then the next week he loses. But I digress. Yeah, I think the Bills are the better coach team, and they're a really good overall team as well. I just think they're better coached, and they've been there before. They've played the Chiefs countless of times. So they should know their game. That's why I think the Bills stood a better chance compared to the Ravens. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe it doesn't even make any sense.
Okay. Let me just push back on that. You said they played them numerous of times, so they know their game. But doesn't that also mean that KC knows their game as opposed to Baltimore?
That's true. That's true. I'm telling you, there's just something about the Bills team. I just see something different with the Bills compared to what I see with the Ravens. I feel like the Bills are just they seem like they're really on a mission this season.
Okay. As a team collectively, because Lamar Jackson, number-wise, he's the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a team, there's just something about the Bills this season. This season, I mean, if you compare it to last season, yeah, the Ravens were the better team to beat the Chiefs, although they didn't. But this season is a different story. I believe that, and I could be wrong. I don't know. That's just my point of view on it.
Oh man, I don't want Casey to go. I don't. But okay. All right. So something, since I asked you that about the AFC, I want to ask you that about the NFC. Did the right team go? Could it just have been a foul up by the Lions? Are the Commanders the better team in your opinion? Obviously, record wise and all that stuff, but just the play on the field, is the right team there?
Okay. Yeah, okay. That one's an interesting question. That one's interesting. So the Lions have been banged up a lot on defense. You could say that that's the reason why they were first, or I guess they lost in their first game, because their defense was super banged up. Jared Goff made a lot of mistakes. That's a big reason why they lost. Maybe the Commanders were the better team that day, that night. There's a good chance. I mean, it happens. It's football. That's why it's such a difficult sport to go all the way, because it's one game, do or die. If you lose, you're done. No matter if you're the first seed or the 7th seed, you have one game. It's not a series.
Yeah, it's not the best out of 7 or the best out of 5 or anything like that. Yeah.
No, you have 60 minutes to play your best football. And if you don't, you're out. That might have happened with Detroit, but they might have gotten outplayed that night. I think they got outplayed that night, man. I think that's fair to say.
So that's why I'm asking, which is that's why I like football, man. It's you got to be the best team that night. So that's what I'm saying, because to me, both of the KC, Bills, and I'd even throw the Ravens in there. I'm not sure there's an NFC team that beats them.
No,
I thought the Lions would have been the best competitor against either one of those teams.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The 2 NFC teams that are left, are they the right ones in there to go into the Super Bowl and play one of these top dogs, whether the Bills or the KC?
You see,
shouldn't it have been the Lions?
See, now we're getting into like matchup situations. I kind of like it. And that's where it gets tricky, because it does.
Yeah.
It gets tricky. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a team goes further than another team, right?
Right.
That's because they play better competition or better opposition. And that's why they advanced, and the other team played better opposition that week compared to the other team, and they didn't advance.
Right.
It's a tough thing to say, but yeah, I do agree. I think the Lions would have gave the best teams in the AFC a better run for their money compared to a team like the Eagles. I think the Eagles could stand a decent chance in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens, even at that. I don't think they beat them. I could say the same thing with the Commanders. Lions, yeah, you're right. I think they would have had the better chance to beat any top team in the AFC. But yeah, it's a difficult question, man. I think I answered it the best that I could. I think I answered it the best that I possibly could, because okay, I've heard something and I completely agree. It's like the AFC has the best quarterbacks, right? Like the superstar quarterbacks.
A superstar, yes, and possibly, I mean, numbers wise, Lamar Jackson, yeah, he's the guy,
right? And then the NFC has the better just overall teams. That's what that's what I heard. I kind of agree. Although I think Jaden Daniels is starting to turn into one of those star quarterbacks, and if that's the case, he's really the only one in the NFC.
Wow. Okay. All right. You're investing in this guy. Okay.
You know what?
All right.
But okay. CJ Stroud did have a sophomore slump this season. I was expecting a lot from the Houston Texans this season. I thought they might have even been in the conference championship. I had really high hopes on Houston this year. There's a chance that Washington goes through a sophomore slump. I hope they don't. I have nothing against the Commanders whatsoever. They're not in the division rival, nothing like that. But
they're in Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C., that's the nation's capital. That's the nation's capital. But yeah, I do agree. I think the Lions would have given the in the Super Bowl a better matchup compared to the other two.
I think they were the best chance to bring the NFC a championship. Yes, I do. But hey, you know what? Again, you just got to be better than that. And we're not even there yet. Now, just to close it out on this, I've said this before and I stand by this. Game-wise, what is put out on the field, give me championship weekend over the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Over the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, it's all the bells, the lights, the whistles, all the cool stuff that happens, right? But if you're just talking about just football time, just out there on the field, give me championship weekend.
I agree. I agree. You got the home field advantage, everything like that, the elements, because you don't really see elements in the Super Bowl. It's usually in a dome or in a really warm place, something like that. But yeah, I agree. Okay, last thing, Pete Carroll, now head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. That happened. I think, did it happen today? I think he signed either yesterday or today. What are your thoughts on that? Raiders are a team that we do cover in the regular season. How do you think that favors the Raiders? Does that make the Raiders better, or maybe just a slight bit better? Like what do the Raiders gain from that?
All right. Okay. What this is going to do, all right, is going to get all the Raider fans all pumped up. Yeah. The USC guy. That's right, man. Heck yeah, let's do it, man. Raiders. Everybody's going to get pumped up. Everybody's going to be looking for next season. Everybody's going to jump up and down for the wins. But eventually, I think it's a cool bet. And I'm not hating. I would love for the Raiders to do good. I would love for the Steelers and Raiders to meet up at the AFC Championship game one day.
Oh, that sounds like a big ask right now.
Oh,
that sounds like a big ask for both teams. I'm sorry. I'm being realistic here.
One day. Okay, one day. And I would probably do what I gotta do to make it to that game. Honestly, man, whether it's in Pittsburgh, whether it's in Vegas, I would probably have to do what I gotta do to be there, because I think that's the AFC Championship dream match right there. But I think eventually it's kind of like that new toy. You get it, you play with it, it's fun and everything, and then it just kind of wears out. I'm not sure if that's really gonna change much of the product that's going to be on the field. Is it be cool? I think Raider fans are going to love it. It's going to sell out Allegiant Stadium again, because I'm telling you, man, especially this season, we saw things that we've probably never seen before. Okay. The stadium was not getting full. As a matter of fact, you could go on YouTube and look at, there's multiple videos of people that went to Raider games. That sucker was more than half empty.
That's bad.
That is terrible. And we're talking about the Raiders. The Raiders have stuck for a long time. They usually always sell out. But because it was so bad, because it was so terrible, that place was like 40% full. I thought I'd, look at it as the cup, the full part, instead of saying empty. Maybe it could sound a little better. So 40% full.
Rather than 60%. Okay.
But yeah. I think it's okay. So I think it's bring a buzz. Is it bring a spark? Everybody's gonna sell out, be out there, Pete Carroll signs and everything, and they get a few wins and all that stuff. But eventually, I think it just goes back to what it was.
So what it is? You think it's gonna end up like the John Gruden experiment, the John Gruden 2.0 experiment, where he came back for like 2 seasons and it wound up not working out?
Case in point, how many people wanted Chucky back? Like, oh man, we want Chucky back. We want him back. And he said he won't take another coaching job unless it's the Raiders. He did. Where's he at now? So, I mean, that's what I see. Pete Carroll, I don't know how much juice he has left in the tank. I mean, how long was he with Seattle for?
He was with Seattle for a while.
He was there for quite a long time, man. It's been a long time because he has not been with the Trojans for I don't know how long, and he's spent all that time with Seattle. How much juice does he have left in the tank? I don't know because he got that much older. He is a guy that's very energetic. I don't know how much energy he has. He might have a little bit of energy because it's going to be the new team. It's going to be the Raiders and all that stuff. But once he sees that, he probably can't get these guys to perform because remember, the Seahawks were the team. They were on fire. Legion of Boom, baby. Once he sees that he can't replicate that, I don't know, man. I think he's out of there in 2 seasons. What would he sign?
Okay.
3 years or?
I didn't read the exact amount, but I know it's a couple seasons.
All right.
All I got to say is, look, Pete Carroll's not a bad head coach. The problem is the Raiders have much, much more problems that they have. I think they still have a problem in the front office. I do. I know Tom Brady is there. It sounds like he's going to try to have his foot in the door at some point. To some what's the word I'm looking for?
He's gonna get involved with the team more?
He's gonna get that's easier to say.
Okay.
He's gonna get involved with the team more, which makes sense. I mean, he's a winner, naturally a winner. All right. But there's still a lot to fix. You don't have a quarterback, a lot of holes in the team. Okay, so he's gonna have to make a lot of moves as well. I don't think it's gonna start off that great.
No,
I don't think so. I know it might sound great, but I still think the Raiders are very much in rebuilding mode. So, I mean, we're looking at 1, maybe 2 bad years still in the Raiders in order for them to start playing good if Pete Carroll does do the rebuild the right way. But if he doesn't, that might set the Raiders back even further. So, let's see, man. All in all, I think Pete Carroll's still a really good head coach. I just don't know if he still has it. I don't.
And that is, you made the point right there. That what I was thinking. That is what it has to have to come down to. He's got to be willing to have at least 2 seasons, 2 bad seasons, because they got to rebuild. They got to bring that sucker back up, man. They really do, and it's not going to happen in 1 season.
No,
so
not at all.
So if he's in it for the long haul, I don't know how old he is, but if he's in it for the long haul, come the 3rd season, yeah, you could start, seeing some good changes, but it's going to be a while.
And don't throw it at the 1 yard, at the goal line, man. Just don't throw it at the goal line, and you should be all right. But, yeah, that was the breaking news on this week. That was like the biggest news of this week. You had a couple offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators going to different places from the Lions, by the way. So after they lost in the divisional round, they also lost their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So they're going to need to look for more. Robert Saleh sounds like he's going back to the Niners, which is good. Defensive coordinator. That should help out the Niners defense. They were looking very shaky this season, just like another team that was looking pretty shaky in the Steelers defense, but still no news on them. I don't know if we're going to get any news on them. We'll just have to wait and see. Offseason still isn't a thing. It's just the teams that are in the offseason that are making moves.
Yeah. So just to finish it off, who do you got for the NFC game?
Okay. I picked the Eagles because you're going super hard for the Commanders.
All right. And okay, so I got Commanders, you got Eagles, and for the AFC?
I got the Buffalo Bills, man.
So I go KC.
And I gotta eat some buffalo wings too on Sunday. Yeah, I'm really gonna be rooting. I'm really gonna be rooting for the Bills. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get some buffalo wings too. I'm telling you. Go Bills on Sunday. They are America's team on Sunday.
Go Commander Redskins. That's who I'm rooting for. Take it all the way. And I would love to see a Bills Commanders Super Bowl.
That's what I want to see as well. That is what I want to see. I think that's what America wants to see as well.
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
Booyah.